Why do we worry so often about what we cannot see? Why do we believe that something must be visible to be real or immediate to be working? I want to remind you of something soft and steady beneath the surface of life. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't happening. People often come to me and say, "I'm worried things won't work out." And I gently smile, place a hand over my heart and say, what if everything is already working out for you, even now, even here, especially here? The universe is always listening, always moving, always responding, not always in the way we expect, but in the way our soul most needs. The point of power is always in the present moment, and in this moment, something loving is unfolding. You might not see the pieces yet, but trust. They are falling into place. We don't always see the full tapestry while it's being woven, but that doesn't mean it's not a masterpiece in motion. Take a breath with me. Place your hand on your heart. Can you feel the quiet rhythm of life inside you? That is the same rhythm the universe is using to guide you, not with force but with grace, not with haste but with harmony. So let us walk into this moment together, not with fear but with curiosity. What if the delay is not denial? What if the pause is protection? What if the unknown is actually where the miracle is being prepared? Life supports me in every possible way. Let that be your whisper today. Let it cradle the part of you that still doubts. Let it calm the mind that's racing ahead. Everything is working out for you, beloved, even if you can't see it yet. Let me share something I've seen again and again. So many beautiful souls, perhaps just like you, get caught in loops of worry, not because they are weak, but because their minds are trying to protect them. The mind's job is to predict, to prepare, to keep you safe. But the problem is, it often does this by creating stories filled with fear. It's just a thought, and a thought can be changed. That's one of my favorite truths to return to. Your fearful thought is not a prophecy. It's just a pattern, and patterns can be gently repatterned with love. Our minds tend to look ahead with suspicion, imagining the worst so we're not caught off guard. But what if that habit is what's keeping us from peace? What if by trying to prevent pain, we're postponing joy? So many of us walk around rehearsing disaster, quietly in our heads, without even realizing it. We think, what if I fail? What if it doesn't happen? What if I'm not enough? But I invite you to pause right now and breathe. Take a breath, let it go, and ask yourself, is this thought helping me or draining me? You are the only thinker in your mind. That's such an empowering truth. You may not control every event around you, but you always get to choose the next thought. And when you choose a thought that feels better, one step lighter, you are beginning to break free. You are beginning to trust the process. I trust the process of life. I am safe. These words are not a denial of fear. They are a doorway through it. The past is not your prison. The future is not your enemy. If you want to create peace, start with your inner dialogue. Begin speaking to yourself as someone you deeply love. Imagine if each thought you thought was being whispered to a child you adored. Would you say, "You'll probably mess this up"? Or would you say, "You are doing the best you can, and I believe in you"? Let's begin again, together. You don't need to figure everything out right now. You don't have to see the whole map. The universe works in mysterious, kind, and miraculous ways, even when your mind doesn't understand it. Especially then, your job is not to forecast disaster. Your job is to stay open, curious, loving, and gentle with yourself. Say to yourself, I now choose thoughts that align with trust, with ease, with life itself. Let that choice ripple gently through your system. Let it soften the fear. Let it make space for something beautiful to unfold. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not alone. You are on your path, and you are doing better than you think. Let's walk through this gentle shift together. Imagine for a moment your life is a river. When you resist, when you push against its flow, you feel tired, frustrated, stuck. Your energy is spent fighting the current. Yet when you allow yourself to drift, to relax, to trust that the river knows its way, you discover something remarkable. The river carries you forward. Let it go. Let it go. That's Louise's sweet invitation into surrender. You might think surrender means failure, giving up, or being passive. But surrender, in truth, is a powerful act of trust. It is saying, I'm open to life's intelligence. I don't have to know the outcome right now. I will trust the timing. I will trust the process. It is not about giving up your desire. It's about giving up the need to control how it unfolds. I release the need to know. I allow life to guide me. When we resist, when we cling to how we think things should be, we create inner friction where peace could be. But when we soften, a beautiful thing happens. We align with guidance. We free up our mind and energy to follow intuitive nudges and subtle directions. If you listen closely, you'll hear them. A caring voice that says, this is not your battle. That person is arriving. This is a blessing in disguise. So tonight, or right now, take a soft breath and place a hand over your heart. Feel its tenderness. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. Let this new thought in. I surrender and I breathe in peace. Feel the weight lift as you allow yourself to rest in the wisdom of timing. Feel your body sigh in relief as you let life carry your worries. Dear one, this is not about giving up your power. It is about giving up the illusion of needing to control. It is about coming home to your trust. It is about saying, I'm not broken. I don't have to push so hard. I am loved. I am supported. I am guided. And guess what? As you release and let flow, that friction dissolves like morning mist under gentle sunlight. You begin to feel light again. You begin to feel peace again. You begin to feel held again. And miracles, they start moving toward you. Softly, quietly, beautifully. Let's affirm it now. I release the need to know. I allow life to guide me. Let it settle in your bones. Let it soften every worry. Let it be your lullaby tonight and your promise to yourself each day. You are exactly where you need to be. You are ever held. You are loved beyond measure. Have you ever looked at a moment in your life and thought, this can't possibly be working out for me, only to look back months or years later and realize it was a turning point? That's the quiet magic of the universe. Even in the delays, the detours, the endings, you are being divinely guided. We often think that things working out should look like smooth roads, open doors, instant clarity. But the universe, in its infinite wisdom, knows that what we truly need may not come wrapped in comfort. It may come in the form of growth, redirection, or rest. Everything is working out for me is not just a feel-good phrase. It is a declaration of trust in the unseen. It's the spiritual courage to believe that what looks like a breakdown is often a breakthrough in disguise. Life doesn't always follow the timeline we imagined. Sometimes what you thought was a delay was actually divine protection. Sometimes what felt like an ending was really a redirection to something even better. The mind may say, I failed, but the soul whispers, you're being refined. What if the detour is the path? What if the confusion is clearing space for deeper clarity? Have you ever noticed how some of the most profound growth in your life happened during seasons that didn't feel successful at all? Think about it. A seed doesn't bloom overnight. It rests in darkness, silently breaking open. No one watches it struggle, but the earth still cradles it. You are that seed. You are being shaped, refined, and prepared for a life that is unfolding with love. Let's take a breath together now. Close your eyes if it feels good, and say to yourself, I trust that this is part of my greatest unfolding. Feel the softness of those words. Let them melt into the places in you that still want to control everything. Because control can feel safe, but trust is where miracles grow. You don't need to know how it will all come together. You just need to keep showing up with love. You need to rest when your body asks for rest. You need to honor your emotions, even the ones that feel heavy. Because healing does not always look like joy. It often looks like stillness, like surrender, like saying, I don't know, with open arms. You are not being punished. You are being aligned. There is a difference. One comes from fear. The other is born of deep divine love. When things fall apart, it's not because you're failing. It's because something greater is being made space for. The universe never subtracts without the intention to multiply. But sometimes, subtraction feels like loss before it feels like grace. So let me ask you gently, what if you stopped asking, why is this happening to me? And started asking, how is this shaping me? How is this moment teaching you to pause, to listen, to return to what matters? How is it preparing your heart to hold more? Because every delay is not denial. Every pause is not punishment. Sometimes the universe whispers, not yet, dear one, something better is being prepared. I know how hard it is to wait. I know what it's like to long for answers, to want the path lit up in neon lights. But the path of healing, of becoming, is often paved with moments where we must feel our way forward, step by step, breath by breath. And that is enough, and that. You don't have to sprint. You don't have to prove. You only have to trust the next right feeling. Repeat with me. Everything is working out for me, even if I can't see it yet. Say it again, like a lullaby for your fear. Let it settle in your bones. Let it be the soft voice you return to when doubt gets loud. Because doubt is part of the journey, but it doesn't have to be the guide. What does working out really mean? It means being shaped in ways that will carry you forward with more wisdom. It means becoming the kind of person who can hold the life you're dreaming of. It means shedding what no longer fits, even if it's uncomfortable. Growth often comes disguised as confusion, and clarity, when it arrives, feels like a homecoming. You don't have to earn your unfolding. It is happening because you are worthy of it. Your job is not to force the outcome. Your job is to stay open, to tend to your heart, to care for your body, to nurture your mind. And while you do that, life is rearranging on your behalf. The universe is always conspiring in your favor, even in the quiet, even in the stillness. There's a line I've spoken often. Out of this situation, only good will come. Can you say that now about something you don't understand yet? It might feel strange. That's okay. Affirmations are not about pretending. They're about opening. They're about creating new pathways in your brain, ones that lead to hope, to peace, to resilience. Maybe your unfolding doesn't look like success to the outside world right now. Maybe it looks like resting when the world says hustle. Maybe it looks like grieving when others expect you to smile. Maybe it looks like saying no, like setting boundaries, like choosing stillness. All of that is sacred. All of that is working out. So today I invite you to loosen your grip, to unclench the worry, to let go, just a little. And instead of trying to figure it all out, place your hands over your heart and say, I trust that this is part of my greatest unfolding. These words are powerful. They are permission. They are peace. You are not lost. You are being guided. You are not forgotten. You are deeply held. The divine intelligence that created oceans, stars, and sunrises is the same force that holds your life. Do you think it would lead you anywhere less than beautiful? So take one step at a time. Rest when you need. Cry when you must. Laugh when the light comes. And through it all, remember, life is not happening to you. Life is happening for you. And one day soon you will look back and see the masterpiece that was always being painted beneath the layers. And when you do, you'll whisper to yourself with gratitude, it really was all working out for me. And so, once we begin to accept that everything is working out for our highest good, even the things we don't understand, it opens the door to an even deeper practice, noticing the blessings we cannot yet see. There is an invisible river of goodness that flows beneath our everyday lives. Most of the time we're moving too quickly to notice it. But if we learn to slow down, to soften, to breathe, we begin to sense it. Gentle nudges, serendipitous timing, quiet shifts in energy that tell us something is happening, even if we don't quite know what. That's the unseen magic of life whispering, I am here. Have you ever had the feeling that something was guiding you, even when you felt lost? That somehow, even amidst pain or confusion, there was a small thread of peace? That is not your imagination. That is grace. That is the gentle hand of the universe, tucking treasures into the folds of your life. But to notice them, you must begin with a question, a sacred question I invite you to carry in your heart each day. What unseen gift might be growing here? Ask it with wonder. Ask it with reverence. Ask it not to demand answers, but to become receptive, because the act of asking opens you. It makes space for miracles. Sometimes the gifts are quiet, a sudden calm in your body, a message from a friend that feels like perfect timing, a dream that gives you insight. Other times it's a moment of clarity while washing dishes, or a feeling of being protected, even when plans fall apart. These are not coincidences. These are the whispered gifts of life reminding you that you are not alone. The more you notice, the more you see. The more you celebrate the small, the more you attract the big. Gratitude is a magnet for miracles. When you begin to say, I am witnessing the whispered magic of life, it becomes true. Life starts to shimmer in places it once felt dull. Even the ordinary becomes sacred. And isn't that the essence of healing? To remember that every moment is holy, every breath a blessing. Let's practice this together. Imagine starting your day not with a to-do list or a scroll through the phone, but with a quiet moment of trust. You place your feet on the floor, put your hand on your heart, and say, today I trust that all is for me. What a gentle, powerful way to begin. You are not setting a rigid expectation. You are choosing a loving lens. You are aligning your energy with faith instead of fear. As the day unfolds and the world begins to swirl around you, create sacred pauses. These don't need to be long, just moments, breaths. You might be in line at the store, sitting at your desk, or watching the sky. Wherever you are, take a soft inhale. and say silently to yourself, I'm safe, I'm held. These are not just words, they are anchors. They bring you back to your center. Your nervous system responds to loving words. It softens, it relaxes. And when you're relaxed, you can receive. You can hear the quiet guidance of life. Then, in the evening, when the sun has slipped beneath the horizon and the day begins to wind down, take a moment to reflect, not on what went wrong, not on what you didn't do, but on one hidden gift that revealed itself. Maybe it was an idea. Maybe it was a shift in your mood. Maybe it was a chance to rest, to say no, to feel your own courage. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Let yourself become familiar with the language of miracles, because the more you speak this language, the more fluent you become in grace. This is how trust is built. Not all at once, but moment by moment. Tiny practices that remind your heart, I am safe, I am supported, I am not doing this alone. And the truth is, you never have been. Even when you felt abandoned, even when it felt like nothing made sense. The divine was there, in the silence, in the pauses, in the space between your questions. So many of us were taught to only celebrate the big wins, the promotions, the healed relationships, the completed goals, but healing lives in the small, invisible places. It lives in the decision to forgive, in the bravery of waking up and trying again, in the sacred act of showing up with love when you feel broken. These moments deserve celebration too. Trust is not about never feeling doubt. It is about not letting doubt have the final word. It is about choosing to believe in possibility even when you can't see it. It's about learning to see through the eyes of your soul, not just your mind. And your soul knows that every step is a step closer, even the ones that feel like they lead nowhere. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are blooming in perfect time. Your healing cannot be rushed, and your blessings cannot be missed. What is meant for you is making its way, and every day you align with trust, you make the path smoother. You are not being tested. You are being taught how deeply loved you really are. So tomorrow morning, I invite you again. Wake up, place your hand over your heart, and whisper, today I trust that all is for me. And if that feels too big, say, I am willing to trust. That willingness is everything. It opens the door. It makes space for the light. Then let your day be filled with tiny acknowledgments, little celebrations, quiet moments of awareness. You are doing more than enough. You are already on the path. You are already receiving. The practice is simply remembering again and again that this is a life that loves you. Tonight, take a final breath with me. Feel it enter gently through your nose. Feel it leave softly through your mouth. And as you close your eyes, say these words. I am witnessing the whispered magic of life. I trust the unfolding. I am safe in this moment, and that is enough. Let this be your lullaby, your prayer, your reminder. The unseen blessings are already here. And you, beautiful soul, are learning to see them. You are allowed to let life carry you. You don't have to hold everything together on your own. There is a sacred ease waiting for you the moment you release the need to control every outcome. Trust is the bridge between your desire and its arrival, and it begins not in the mind but in the body, in the energy, in the quiet vibration of your heart. You see, worry vibrates like a closed door. It says no to the flow of life. But trust? Trust vibrates like a warm, open yes. It says, I may not know how, but I believe it is coming. What you feel becomes your frequency. That is why one of the most powerful things you can do is feel your vision more than think it. Close your eyes and imagine what it would feel like to be safe, to be supported, to be surrounded by ease. Not someday, but now. Let that feeling gently rise in you. Let your body recognize it. Your cells soak it in. This is the energy of yes. This is alignment. Too often we try to think our way into peace. We overanalyze, overplan, overcontrol, hoping that if we think long enough, we will feel safe. But the truth is, safety comes from presence, not from perfection. It comes from remembering that you are held by something greater, that you don't have to do this alone. And when you align your energy with the feeling of your vision, when you begin to embody the outcome before it arrives, you call it in. Say gently with me now, I feel safe, supported, and carried forward. Let the words echo in your heart. Let them become a rhythm inside you. This is the song of trust. It is a melody your soul already knows. But what about time? What about all the moments that feel like waiting? I hear you. I know the ache of longing, of wondering when. But let me remind you with love, miracles do not follow your clock. They follow your alignment. The universe is not late. The timing of your life is not random. It is intelligent. It is loving. It is on your side. Imagine a flower trying to bloom before its time. It might strain and push, but the petals would tear. Nature knows better. Nature blooms in trust, and so can you. You do not need to chase your destiny. You need only to rest into it. Let go of the deadlines. Let go of the timelines. The pressure to rush is not your truth. Your truth is patient and kind and rooted in faith. Whisper softly now, it is safe for me to wait. It is safe for me to receive. These words are not weakness. They are wisdom. They are a return to your center. You were never meant to hustle your way into wholeness. You were meant to allow, to receive, to be loved by life. And when the doubts rise, as they do for all of us, return to your breath. Place your hands over your heart and say, I am safe. All is unfolding for me. Feel how those words change the way you sit, the way you breathe, the way your shoulders soften. That is the medicine of presence. That is the power of surrender. Sometimes it helps to remember that you are not creating your life alone. You are co-creating with the infinite intelligence that knows every detail of your soul's path. This intelligence, this divine love, is not bound by human schedules. It sees the whole picture, and even when you feel confused or scared, it is still working behind the scenes, aligning people, places, and moments in your favor. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being loved into alignment. And sometimes that love looks like delay. Sometimes it looks like redirection. Sometimes it looks like silence. But that silence is not empty. It is sacred. It is space being made for something you cannot yet see. When you rest, you receive. When you soften, you align. When you let go of trying to force the outcome begins to come to you. And so I invite you today to relax your grip, to trust the process, to believe, not blindly but bravely, that something good is coming, that something good is already here. You are allowed to have dreams and still be at peace in the now. You are allowed to want more and still feel grateful for what is. This is not contradiction. It is co-creation. This is the dance of the soul. You can be both becoming and enough. Each time you anchor into trust, you shift your energy. You create space for miracles, not because you're demanding them, but because you are finally ready to receive them. You are not blocked. You are becoming. You are not behind. You are right on time. Life is never late when love leads the way. And so we come to the heart of it. To the quiet blessing I want to leave with you now. It's simple, it's soft, but it holds all the power you need. Gently, as if speaking to your own inner child, place your hands over your heart and say, I am safe. All is unfolding for me. I trust this process even when I don't understand it. Life loves me, and so do I. Let those words be your prayer. Let them be your anchor. Let them be the light that guides you when the path feels dark. You are not alone. You never were. The universe has you. Life is holding you. And every moment, even this one, is part of your highest becoming. You are supported beyond what you can see. And so it is.